We have a go for main engine start. 6. We have main engine start. 3, 2, 1. We have SRB ignition and we have liftoff. Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight of the orbiter Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Roger, roll.
Mission control confirms roll maneuver. Standing by to throttle down to 65% to begin passing through the period of maximum aerodynamic pressure. Throttling down in a two-step fashion, first 84%, then to 65%. Throttling down confirmed, 45 seconds. Altitude 3.5 nautical miles, downrange distance 2 nautical miles. Velocity 2,150 feet per second. Passing through the period of maximum aerodynamic pressure.
13, 12, 11, 10. We're go for main engine start. 7, 6. We have main engine start. 3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Liftoff of Discovery and the first flight to retrieve and return satellites from space, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Roll program initiated. Houston now controlling. Roll program completed. Beginning throttle down in a two-step fashion to 89%, then to 67% to pass through the period of maximum aerodynamic pressure. Throttle down to 67 confirmed. "45 seconds. Downrange distance 2 nautical miles. Altitude 3.9 nautical miles. Velocity 2,200 feet per second. 3 engines at 67%.
T-minus 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff. Liftoff of Discovery, the first flight totally dedicated to Department of Defense mission. And it's cleared the tower.
Tower clear. The vehicle now turning around to the proper azimuth to go down track on this flight. Tram height 0.6 of a mile. All APUs running at normal speed. Main engines all running at normal pressures. Height 2.9 nautical miles, distance 1 mile downrange.
Release of pre-liftoff water and arming of SRB hold-down ordnance will occur at the T-minus 16-second mark. IMUs go to full inertial at T-minus 12 seconds. T-minus 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. We have a go for main engine start. 7, 6, and we have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1. We have SRB ignition and liftoff. Liftoff of mission 51D and the 7-member crew of Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Houston controlling now.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
That 90-degree roll program initiated puts the ship at the proper alignment for a flight down the inclination of 28.45 degrees. Throttle step down to 90% as Discovery goes through active load limiting in preparation for max Q. Throttle's now down to 65%.
T-minus 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
2, 1. We have booster ignition and liftoff. Liftoff of Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Discovery has cleared the tower at pad 39, rolling around to the proper azimuth to place the spacecraft on a 28.5-degree inclination orbit. All three auxiliary power units operating at 100+% of their rated RPM of 72,000 RPM. Down to 84 and then 65% in the main engines.
12, 11, 10, 9. We have a go for main engine start, and we have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff. Liftoff of A-51I and the commercial deploy and repair mission. It has cleared the tower.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
Roll program initiated. Houston now controlling.
Roger that.
Beginning throttle down now to 65%. 3 engines throttling down now to 65%. Altitude 3 nautical miles. 3 engines in the throttle down condition to manage the maximum aerodynamic pressure as the spacecraft approaches max Q at 743 pounds per square foot.
11, 10. We're go for main engine start. 7, 6. We have main engine start. 3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff. Liftoff. Americans return to space as Discovery clears the tower.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
Crew confirms roll program. Houston now controlling. 3 engines at 104%. Use 3 good fuel cells. Standing by to begin throttle down to 65%. Engine throttling down now to maintain a certain speed as the spacecraft passes through max Q. Three engines at 65% now. Standing by to see engines begin to throttle back up at about 59 seconds. Mark 1 minute, velocity 2,300 feet per second, altitude 5.9 nautical miles, downrange distance 3 nautical miles.
11, 10, we have a go for main engine start. 6, 5, we have main engine start. 3, 2, 1, SRB ignition and liftoff. Liftoff of STS-29 as Discovery clears the tower.
Roll program. Roger, roll, Discovery.
Mission Control, Houston. Good roll program confirmed. Engines now at 65%. Standing by for the go at throttle up call.
The orbiter's body flap and speed brake have been positioned for the launch. T-minus 15 seconds and counting. The sound suppression water system is started. The launch igniters and pyrotechnics are armed. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, liftoff. Liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery for its Thanksgiving Day mission.
Roll program initiated. Guidance officer confirms a good roll maneuver. Three engines throttling back now to 65% as Discovery passes through the area of maximum dynamic pressure. Velocity now 2,000 feet per second. APUs all looking good. Velocity now 2,300 feet per second.
T-minus 10, go for main engine start. We are go for main engine start. T-minus 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery with the Hubble Space Telescope, our window on the universe.
Mission Control, Houston.
Roll program. Roger, roll, Discovery.
The roll maneuver puts the vehicle in the proper launch plane. Guidance officer confirms a good roll maneuver. Engines now throttling back. The throttle down maneuver assists in reducing the aerodynamic loads on Discovery as it passes through the area of maximum dynamic pressure. Velocity now 1,200 feet per second. Discovery downrange 3 nautical miles.
T-minus 10, 9. We have a go for main engine start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff of Discovery and the Ulysses spacecraft bound for the polar regions of the sun.
Roll program, mission. Roger, roll, Discovery.
This is Mission Control. The roll maneuver puts Discovery into the correct launch plane. Guidance officer confirms a good roll maneuver. Engines now throttling down in preparation for Discovery's passage through the maximum aerodynamic loads area. Auxiliary power units, all three looking good. Discovery's velocity now 2,300 feet per second.
T-minus 10, 9, 8. We have a go for main engine start. We have engine start. 3, 2, 1. We have ignition and liftoff of Discovery on a research flight for the Department of Defense.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
Houston's now controlling. Roll maneuver is underway. Maneuver complete, placing Discovery in true and heads-down attitude and on course for a 57-degree orbit. Engines at 100% and throttling down. Engine throttles now at 70% rated thrust in order to help maintain optimum aerodynamic conditions as Discovery accelerates through the dense lower altitudes. Velocity 1,000 feet per second, altitude 200,000 feet. Correction, 24,000 feet. All systems performing well. Hydraulics, electrical systems performing well. Altitude now 33,000 feet, velocity 1,300 feet per second.
T-minus 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7. Go for main engine start. 3 main engines up and burning. 3, 2, 1, 0. And liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery and the Upper Atmosphere Research Satellite, opening a new era studying the Earth's environment from space.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
Mission Control Houston now controlling the flight of Discovery. Roll program complete. Discovery now in a heads-down position on course for a 57-degree inclination. Discovery's engines now throttling down as the vehicle prepares to pass through the area of maximum dynamic pressure. 3 engines now at 67%. Discovery's altitude is now 18,000 feet, downrange from Kennedy 1 nautical mile.
Ten, 9, 8, 7. We have a go for main engine start. We have 3 main engines up and running. 3, 2, 1, 0. And liftoff. Liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery and the first International Microgravity Laboratory.
Houston is now controlling. Discovery and crew are rolling on course.
Roll program. Roger, roll, Discovery.
Roll maneuvers complete, placing Discovery and crew heads down and on the proper heading. Engines at 100%. Engines throttling back now to 70% to help maintain optimum aerodynamic conditions as Discovery accelerates through the dense lower altitudes. All systems performing well. Engines throttled down and performing well. Good hydraulics, good electrical systems. Altitude now 23,000 feet. Time 1 minute.
T-minus 15 seconds. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. We have a go for main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And liftoff. Liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery on a 7-day mission for the Department of Defense.
Houston is now controlling. Discovery is maneuvering onto course.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
Roll maneuvers complete. Placing Discovery and crew on the proper heading. Engines at 100%. Engines are throttling back now, helping ease Discovery through the dense lower altitudes as it continues to accelerate rapidly. Engine throttles are now at 73%. Discovery's already traveling over 700 miles per hour.
15.
T-minus 10, 9, 8. We have a go for engine start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition. We have liftoff of Discovery on the second mission to Planet Earth research flight.
Roll program, Houston.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
Houston now controlling. Discovery is underway and it's rolled on course for a 57-degree orbit. Three engines on board Discovery now throttling back to 2/3 throttle to prepare the spacecraft to pass through the area of maximum air pressure and go supersonic.
Launch ignition system on. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Go for main engine start. Engines are up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, launching the next generation of communication satellite technology.
Houston now controlling.
Houston Discovery, roll program.
Roger, roll, Discovery. Roll maneuver complete. Discovery's in a heads-down position on course for a 28.5 degree, 160 nautical mile orbit. Discovery's engines now throttling down as the orbiter passes through the area of maximum dynamic pressure on the vehicle in the lower atmosphere. The orbiter is 1 mile downrange from the launch site. Altitude 21,000 feet.
T-minus 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. We have a go for engine start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery on a bold new era of spaceflight between the United States and Russia.
Houston Discovery and roll.
Roger, roll, Discovery. Houston is now controlling. The roll maneuver is underway aboard the orbiter. Discovery is now in a heads-down position on course for a 57 degree, 190 nautical mile orbit. Three engines aboard Discovery now throttling down as the orbiter prepares to pass through the area of maximum dynamic pressure on the vehicle in the lower atmosphere.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Main engine start. 3 engines up and burning. 2, 1. Liftoff of Space Shuttle Discovery, developing new techniques to monitor our Earth's environment from space.
Roll program, Houston.
Roger, roll, Discovery. Houston now controlling. Discovery's rolling on course for a 57 degree inclination, 140 nautical mile orbit on its 19th trip to space. Discovery's speed already 400 miles an hour, altitude 9,000 feet. 3 engines on board Discovery now throttling back to 2/3 throttle to prepare the spacecraft to pass through the area of maximum air pressure. Discovery now going supersonic.
10.
T-minus 10 seconds. Go for main engine start. Main engine's now started. Main engine's up and running. 3, 2, 1, and liftoff of Space Shuttle Discovery on a mission to prepare for the next era of world cooperation in space.
Roll program, Houston.
Roger, roll, Discovery. Houston is now controlling. Discovery on its 20th trip to space. Discovery rolling on course for an orbit with the Mir space station. Mir currently half a world away above the Indian Ocean. Three engines on Discovery now throttling down to 2/3 throttle to prepare the spacecraft to pass through the area of maximum air pressure and go supersonic. Discovery already traveling 700 miles per hour, 2 miles northeast of the launch pad, altitude 4 miles.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Main engine ignition. 4, 3, 2, 1.
And liftoff of Space Shuttle Discovery to complete NASA's constellation of tracking stations in the sky.
Houston now controlling the flight of Discovery.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
Discovery completes the roll to place the shuttle in a heads-down, wings-level position for the 8.5-minute ride to orbit. 27 seconds into the flight, Discovery's 3 liquid fuel main engines now throttling back in a 3-step fashion to 67% of rated performance to lessen the stress on the shuttle's zero surfaces as it passes through the sound barrier. Seconds into the flight, the main engine's now beginning to rev up once again to 104% of rated performance, including the new Block 1 engine. All 3 main engines performing normally, as are the 3 power-producing fuel cells and Discovery's 3 hydraulic power units.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7. We have a go for engine start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff. Discovery now on its way to service NASA's Hubble Space Telescope.
Houston now controlling.
Roll program, Houston.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
Roll maneuver is complete aboard Discovery. The vehicle's now in a heads-down position on course for a 28.5-degree, 309 nautical mile orbit. Discovery already 1.5 miles in altitude and downrange from the launch site 1.5 miles as well. Three main engines beginning to throttle down now as the orbiter prepares to pass through the area of maximum dynamic pressure on the vehicle in the lower atmosphere. The 3 engines now at 67% of rated thrust.
11, 10, 9, 8. We have a go for main engine start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery on a mission to study planet Earth.
Roll program, Houston. Roger, roll, Discovery.
Houston is now controlling. The roll maneuver is complete. Discovery is now in a heads-down, wings-level position headed to a 110 nautical mile orbit. 34 seconds into Discovery's 8.5-minute climb to orbit this morning. All 3 main engines now throttling down to 67% of rated thrust as the orbiter passes through the area of maximum aerodynamic pressure on the vehicle in the lower regions of the Earth's atmosphere. Telemetry indicates all 3 auxiliary power units and fuel cells continuing to perform well. Discovery now downrange from the Kennedy Space Center, 3.5 miles at an altitude of about 7 miles.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. We have a go for main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We have booster ignition and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery as NASA embarks on the final mission to dock with Russia's space station Mir.
Here's the Discovery roll program. Roger, roll, Discovery.
Houston now controlling.
Hear that.
Roll maneuver complete. Discovery now in a heads-down, wings-level position, headed to a 213 nautical mile high orbit, inclined 51.6 degrees to either side of the equator. Discovery's engines now throttling down to 67% of rated thrust as the orbiter passes through the area of maximum aerodynamic pressure on the vehicle in the lower part of the atmosphere.
T-minus 10, 9, 8. We have a go for engine start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery with a crew of 6 astronaut heroes and 1 American legend.
Houston Discovery, roll program.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
Activating. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And liftoff of Space Shuttle Discovery on the first mission to dock with the orbiting International Space Station. And the vehicle has cleared the tower.
Houston Discovery, roll program.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
Houston now controlling. Roll maneuver complete. Discovery now in a heads down, wings level position, headed to a 173 nautical mile orbit, inclined 51.6 degrees to either side of the equator. Three-main engines now throttling down to 67% of rated thrust as the orbiter passes through the area of maximum aerodynamic pressure. Three engines now back up at 104%.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Roger, Houston, go at throttle up.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. We have a go for main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1. We have booster ignition and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery on a mission to repair the Hubble Space Telescope as we venture into the 21st century.
Houston Discovery, roll program.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
Houston is now controlling. The roll maneuver is complete. Discovery is now in a heads down position, on course for a 28.5 degree, 310 nautical mile orbit. Discovery's three main engines now are beginning to throttle down to lessen the effects of the dense lower regions of the atmosphere on the orbiter. Discovery already traveling 700 miles per hour, 3 miles altitude, a little more than a mile downrange from the Kennedy Space Center.
Twelve, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. We have a go for main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery, making shuttle history and building our future in space.
Houston now controlling.
Houston. Roger, roll, Discovery.
Discovery's roll maneuver is complete. The orbiter is now in a heads down position on course for a 51.6 degree, 200 statute mile orbit and a rendezvous with the International Space Station Friday afternoon. Three engines aboard Discovery now throttling down as the orbiter prepares to pass through the area of maximum dynamic pressure on the vehicle in the lower atmosphere. Discovery's already traveling 1,000 miles per hour downrange from the launch site, 3.5 miles, currently at an altitude of 6 miles.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Go for main engine start. 4, 3, 2. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery and a team of explorers shaping their destiny.
Roll program, Houston.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
Houston is now controlling. The roll maneuver is complete, and Discovery is now in a heads-down, wings-level position, carrying the next resident crew to the International Space Station. Seconds into the flight. Discovery's engines are now throttling down to 72% of rated thrust as it passes through the area of maximum aerodynamic pressure. Discovery already at an altitude of 5.5 miles.
12, 11, T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We have engine start. 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery, carrying the third crew of astronaut residents to the International Space Station.
Booster Discovery, roll program.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
Houston is now controlling. The roll maneuver is complete, and Discovery is now in a heads-down, wings-level position, carrying the next resident crew to the International Space Station. 31 seconds into the flight, and Discovery's three main engines are beginning to throttle back to 74% of rated thrust as Discovery passes through maximum aerodynamic pressure.
Brain systems armed. T-minus 10 seconds. Go for main engine start. 7, 6, 5. 3 engines up and burning. 3, 2, 1. And liftoff of Space Shuttle Discovery, beginning America's new journey to the moon, Mars, and beyond. And the vehicle has cleared the tower.
Houston's now controlling. Commander Eileen Collins confirming Discovery's rolling onto a course for rendezvous with the International Space Station. Seconds since launch, Discovery's already traveling at 400 miles per hour. Altitude 12,000 feet. This a view from a camera mounted on Discovery's external fuel tank. 3 engines on Discovery are now throttling down to 2/3 throttle to prepare the spacecraft to pass through the area of maximum air pressure and go supersonic. One minute since launch, Discovery speed now 900 miles per hour.
Discovery 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Go for main engine start. Main engine start. 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond.
The Discovery roll program.
Houston now controlling the flight of Discovery. The Space Shuttle begins the journey back into orbit. Discovery completes its roll. The shuttle now heads down, wings level, for the 8.5-minute ride to orbit. This view from a camera on the external tank's liquid oxygen feed line, showing the bird's eye view of Discovery as it races towards space, a star-spangled start to Discovery's mission. Discovery's 3 liquid fuel main engines now throttled back to 67% of rated performance, reducing the stress on the shuttle as it breaks through the sound barrier. Discovery already 3.5 miles in altitude, 1.5 miles downrange, traveling almost 750 miles an hour. Everything looking good on the bird. 57 seconds into the flight. Engines beginning to rev up.
10 seconds. We have a go for main engine start. 6, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We have booster ignition and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, lighting up the nighttime sky as we continue building the International Space Station.
Discovery rolling on course for a rendezvous with the International Space Station. Speed 1,000 miles an hour, altitude 1 mile, downrange 4.5 miles from Kennedy Space Center already. Three good engines throttling back to 2/3 of the radius thrust. Passing the area of maximum dynamic pressure, about to go supersonic. There's a view from the external tank camera.
Discovery Houston, go at throttle up.
T-minus 16 seconds. Sound suppression water system has been activated, protecting Discovery and the launch pad from acoustical energy. We have a go for main engine start. T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery, hoisting harmony to the heavens and opening new gateways for international science. Discovery has cleared the tower.
Houston now controlling.
Roll program. Roger, roll, Discovery.
Discovery's roll maneuver is complete. Is now in a heads-down position on track for its flight to the International Space Station. Discovery 7 miles downrange at an altitude of 2 statute miles. Flying at 600 miles per hour. Discovery's engines are throttling down as the orbiter passes through the area of maximum pressure on the vehicle. Now 50 seconds into the flight.
Ten seconds. We have go for main engine start. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Shuttle Discovery. Combate Kudasai. Best of luck to the International Space Station's newest laboratory.
Houston, Discovery, roll program.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
Houston now controlling the flight of Discovery, a man-made rising sun on behalf of Japan. Discovery on the proper alignment, heads down, wings level for the 8.5-minute ride to orbit. 4.5 million pounds of hardware and humans taking aim on the International Space Station. Seconds into the flight, the 3 liquid fuel main engines now throttling back to 72% of rated performance, going in the bucket, reducing the stress on the shuttle as it goes supersonic. Discovery already 5 miles in altitude, 8.5 miles downrange, traveling almost 1,000 miles an hour.
12, 10.
CLS go for main engine start.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And booster ignition and liftoff of Space Shuttle Discovery, taking the space station to full power for full science.
This is Mission Control Houston.
Discovery roll program.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
Discovery's roll maneuver is complete. It is now in a heads-down position on track for its flight to the International Space Station. Discovery flying 365 miles per hour, 1.5 miles in altitude, 7 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center. Discovery's engines are throttling down as the orbiter passes through the area of maximum pressure on the vehicle.
CLS is go for main engine start.
We have a go for main engine start. Main engine start. 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery. celebrating its 25th birthday by racking up science and supplies to the space station.
Houston now controlling the midnight ride of Rick Sturckow and his crew to the International Space Station. Discovery rolling onto the proper alignment for its 8.5-minute ride to orbit. 4.5 million pounds of hardware and humans taking aim on the International Outpost. "32 seconds into the flight. The 3 liquid fuel main engines soon will throttle back to 72% of rated performance down in the bucket, reducing the stress on the shuttle as it goes transonic. Discovery 3.5 miles in altitude, 4 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center. Standing by for the throttle up call now from Capcom Eric Bowe.
T-minus 15 seconds and the sound suppression water system has been activated. We have a go for main engine start. 3 engines up and ready. 3, 2, 1, 0. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery, blazing a trail to scientific discoveries aboard Space Station.
Houston, Discovery, roll program.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
This is Mission Control, Houston. Space Shuttle Discovery is rolling into a heads-down position, putting it on course for 51.6 degree, 136 by 36 statute mile orbit, and eventually the International Space Station. Discovery's 3 liquid-fueled main engines are now throttling down to reduce stress on the shuttle as it travels through the area of maximum dynamic pressure. Discovery is already at an altitude of 4.7 miles or 26,500 feet.
Go for main engine start. We have main engine start. 2, 1. Booster ignition and the final liftoff of Discovery. A tribute to the dedication, hard work, and pride of America's Space Shuttle team. The shuttle has cleared the tower.
Space Shuttle now rolling over onto its back for the 8.5-minute ride into orbit. Discovery now making one last reach for the stars. Engines are now throttling down as the orbiter passes through the area of maximum pressure, reducing the stress on the shuttle as it goes supersonic.
Discovery Houston, you are go at throttle up.